Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara, or Lara Likes Mascara, and today's video is all about makeup products that I've realized I do not like, thanks to my no-buy. Quick bit of background, I have been on a makeup no-buy / low-buy for the past 3 years, so as you can imagine that has changed a lot of things, not only my consumption habits when it comes to makeup, but also it has made me realize what makeup products I like, what I tend to use, and what I'm really not interested in or never reach for. On top of that, I've learned a ton about consumerism and how long it actually takes to get through your makeup products, because I literally never thought of that before. Like when I brought a product into my collection, I wasn't thinking about, do I actually want to have this for a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, however long it will take to actually finish it. Will I love it for that long, or is this just a spontaneous purchase? I never thought about any of that. So for all of those reasons, I highly recommend going on a makeup no-buy or low-buy yourself if you are struggling with your relationship to makeup, and I have a ton of videos talking about how to do that, why to do that, all that. So I will link my no-buy playlist here. But in this video, I'm going to talk about just one particular aspect of what I've learned from my no-buy, and that is what makeup products I need to avoid. So let's start with what I feel like is the biggest thing. And the things I'm going to be talking about today, a lot of these are things that are widely adored in the makeup community. So I thought it'd be interesting. You know, it's almost controversial that I don't like these things. And the first one is cream blush. Now I talk about this all the time. I even mentioned it in my most recent video, and that video was retrying products that I hated. The product I was talking about is this blush from Revlon. Honestly, the blush is fine. Maybe someone else would like it. I can't tell if this is just a bad blush or it's just my personal preferences, but I never reach for cream blush. There's just something about them that doesn't work for me. I don't like applying blush with my fingers. I don't like dipping into my cream blush with my powder blush brush, if that makes sense. And I just don't feel like it applies as well. It doesn't look as natural. Sometimes when you stick your brush in, it's just not as well dispersed as with a powder where you can really sort of rub your brush around in there. I feel like with stick blushes, it just doesn't apply the same. So I have 3 cream blushes. I had a couple more that I've since decluttered, but these are the ones that for one reason or another I just haven't. This Milk Makeup one, the reason I was thinking about this is because I know the Milk makeup products are very beloved in the beauty community, particularly the cream blush and the cream bronzer. I only have this because it was a birthday gift from Sephora in 2020, and I was really interested to try this brand, and I was just very, very disappointed in this product. I feel like from the very beginning, the first time I used it, it smelled funny. It didn't last at all. I will just swatch it on my hand here. It's a fine color on me, but it wasn't anything special at all. I don't get what the hype is about. It didn't super blend out well. I could never figure out if it was better to just put this on my cheeks and then pat it out with my fingers, or put it on my hand and then use a brush, or just swirl my brush around in there. That's kind of the way that I feel about all cream blushes. I just don't really know how to use them, and I feel like it's different with every single one. And with powder blush, you don't have that issue, you just use it with a brush and that's it. So yeah, I don't think that cream blush is for me. I don't think that it ever really goes with the rest of the products on my face. I don't think it blends well, and also I find that it just doesn't last as well as powder blush, and it's not as suited to oily skin. At least that's what I found. I think powder blush, if you're oily, it doesn't really have an issue, but with cream blush, it's much more likely to kind of fade away or maybe drip off even. So not for me. I thought this would be a good time to mention Merit and just kind of give a personal anecdote. So for a long time, I feel like I was kind of willing to buy whatever was cheap or on sale, regardless of if I liked it or not. And I didn't even really know what kind of makeup products I liked or not before my no-buy. I didn't really have that critical evaluation of my products prior. But Merit actually reached out to me. This is a fairly new brand. I believe they launched at the beginning of 2021, offering to send me their whole line. And at first I wasn't really sure about this because I don't know how I feel about receiving PR or sponsorships in general, to be honest, but that's a whole other thing. And a lot of their products seemed like things that I just did not need, to be frank. Like, I either had a lot in my collection or I would never get use of. And one thing in particular was the blush. And honestly, the blush, the look of it really reminds me of the Milk makeup blush. It's just wider. And I was like, I'm just not going to use it. Like, it's a cream blush. I don't need it. And as tempting as it was to receive a bunch of free products, because of my no buy, I have realized that that's just a product that I don't need and I don't want. So I did accept a couple of products from them. I'll just briefly say what they were, but at the end of this video, I actually tried out all of these products. So if you want to see that, stick around to the end. But the only products that I accepted are the brow gel, the concealer / foundation stick, and the highlight. So they're absolutely beautiful, as you can see, and I'm actually quite happy with all of these products, and I selected them all for a very particular reason. I am on my current last brow gel. I am also on my current last concealer, and then as for the cream highlight, didn't really need that, but I only have one liquid highlight and I'm getting towards the end of it, so I feel like these are all very practical things to accept. Whereas the blush, like, I'm very happy that I'm at a point in my life or my relationship with makeup where I realize that that's not something I need, even if I'm getting it for free. I just thought it might be helpful to share that story. Another product that they have in their line that I know is very popular is the lip oil. Lip oils have become very popular lately, along with lip glosses, and this is not a trend that I'm interested in whatsoever. I have never liked any kind of lip gloss that I have tried. I'm okay with using lip balms, obviously, but anything that is any more like creamy or slippy, I don't know. When I think of those kind of products, I'm not interested. And if you look at the lip products that I wear in any of my videos, they're always matte. I almost never have any kind of lip gloss kind of look on my lips because that's just not what I go for. And I think the only product that I have in my collection that is a lip gloss is this La Senza Ooh La Lips, and I don't even like this. I just kept it because this is one of those products that I'm like, why am I still keeping it? But here we are. And I think this is a fine lip gloss. It's just, I don't like lip gloss. Like, that's all there is to it. It has a bit of color. And so thinking about their lip oil, I know that that's not the same as a lip gloss, but it looks exactly the same, and I'm sure it would feel just like a lip gloss, like obviously more moisturizing, but it would still have that like slippy feeling on your lips, and I don't like how that feels at all. So I've just realized that lip glosses, lip oils, anything like that is just not for me. Okay, another thing that I know I don't like, and again, I've definitely mentioned all of these things in previous videos. Non-waterproof mascaras. Now, there have been a couple that I have liked and have done almost as good on my lashes as a waterproof mascara, but they always are more likely to smudge or make my eyelashes fall, or, you know, if it's like raining or I'm crying or something, my face is a mess. So I will wear non-waterproof mascara on like a regular day, you know, especially if I'm not really like seeing anyone, I'm just running errands or something like that, fine. But if I'm filming or if I have an event or something, I'm always going to wear a waterproof mascara. You know, for example, today. You can't beat this kind of look. So here are a couple of examples of non-waterproof mascaras that I have that I regret. Like, I regret having all these. This one is a sample, so I don't actually know if I bought this or got it free with gift or something, but this is from Clinique, and I actually do think that this is a fairly good mascara. I should actually probably put this back into my rotation. It smells a little funky. So this one is fairly good. It doesn't build up that much. And I find that that's a big part of the issue. You really can only put on so many layers of non-waterproof mascara before your eyelashes start falling. And just to explain why this is, think about when you curl your hair, okay? You've used a hot tool or whatever, you put water on the hair and the hair falls. Right? That's how it works. In mascara, the main ingredient is water. Like, regardless of if it's waterproof or non-waterproof, the main ingredient is water. So if you've just curled your lashes and then you put on mascara, you are effectively making them fall. You are removing the curl. If it is a waterproof mascara, then there's something in place to prevent that curl from falling. That's how I heard it explained, and it makes total sense to me. So, okay, and then these other two, this is the Great Lash Lots of Lashes mascara from Maybelline. I got this on recommendation from a friend, and I don't like it at all. And then this one, this is the Maybelline Rocket Volume Express. And this one I purchased because I was really interested in trying this mascara, and honestly buying a non-waterproof version was a mistake. So there you are. And then back to Merit. One of their products is a mascara. First of all, I have way too many mascaras. I do not need to be bringing any more into my collection anytime soon. I'm still trying to cycle through all of the ones I have. Click here for my mascara collection video. And on top of that, it's not waterproof. So I knew right off the bat, it was not going to be for me. Another thing that I know is not for me has to do more with color. I have realized over the past couple years, a couple of colors of eyeshadows which are just do not work whatsoever. And those are anything in the gray family. So like silver, sparkly silver, gray, black is good. Nothing lighter than that. And then also blue, any kind of blue, and probably any kind of green too, but I don't have any green eyeshadow, so I don't really know. But if it veers anywhere near close to blue, then that is not going to look good in my eyes, at least on my face. And I have decluttered everything that falls in any of those categories except for the silver glitter liner. I really gotta try it again to see if I don't like it, but I don't want to get rid of it because, you know, it's kind of fun, but I need to try it because maybe I'll try this once and I'll be like, not for me at all. That's probably what's gonna happen. Okay, and then the last category of makeup that I know is not for me is any kind of like cream stick eyeshadow. I have had cream or like liquid eyeshadow, if that makes sense. A little while ago, I decluttered 2 CoverGirl products that were like in a tube that you kind of pull out and you apply on your eyes. Now, these were not good colors, so that was part of it, but I also just think, I know some people are all about like creams and using your fingers, and I just prefer all of my products to be shadows. From what I've seen, like I do not want to be applying eyeshadow with my fingers for the most part unless it's glitter, and I have a couple of like potted eyeshadows and I never use them just because of that like inclination to always use a brush. But here's a couple that I haven't yet decluttered. These are from Topshop and NYX, and for some reason I just don't reach for products where you have to apply it like this rather than with an eyeshadow brush. Oh, and just one more thing to slide in, but I knew this before. Anything that categorizes itself as like dewy or moisturized, like any of those kind of words I know is not for me and my skin because I have very oily skin. So if people say, oh, this is very dewy, you know, it's great if you have dry skin, I know that that is not for me. If that's a foundation, I will stay far away. Also, I should mention I will have a link below if you do want to try any of those Merit products. As always, I cannot emphasize enough, do not buy makeup if you do not need it. That is kind of the whole ethos of my channel, and I only felt comfortable accepting these products because I know that they are products I will actually use, unlike a cream blush, and you know, I already have 14 blushes. So do not buy makeup that you do not need. That would go against what I preach on this channel, and only get them if you think that they will work well for you. Like, we are not about overconsumption here. I am not trying to encourage you to purchase makeup so that I can profit or so a brand can profit. And I should mention that Merit is cruelty-free. They are very ethical and they are really aligned with my personal ethics. So I really do appreciate that. And I love that they're kind of a more minimalist brand. I actually think it's good that they only have 7 products. I know a lot of people are like, you know, I wish they would come out with more things, but this like minimal kind of brand really makes sense to me because most people in the beauty space, most people watching this probably do not need more makeup. Ooh, also every purchase I believe comes with a little bag, which looks super cute, but I do not need that bag. Like I have enough bags, so I didn't accept that either. Yeah, I just wanted to give a bit of a disclaimer about that because I did feel somewhat conflicted about bringing new products into my collection, as you can imagine. But all of these things will go to great use, and I'm very happy with all of them, surprisingly. I think I'm most surprised about the concealer because it is kind of more of a dewy formula, but it just made me realize that my current concealer is too drying, particularly under the eyes. It always looks like a little bit cakey because of that. And I'm going to show you me trying them out right now, so keep watching if you want to see how these products apply. This is quite an expensive brand, so I will link the prices of the products that I'm showing right here. The brow gel is nothing special. The concealer and the highlight, on the other hand, I actually very much love. So just gonna put that out there, and let's hop into me trying the products now. Hello, I'm back. So my full face is not done, it's just mostly done. I'm just missing the products that I received from Merit. The box looks like very exciting, and then these are the 3 products. Now, as you can imagine, I've already got some use out of these products. Like, I've tried them out a couple of times, but every time I had to keep putting them back in their packaging because I wanted to be able to show these properly. So I love the packaging. I think it's so cute. I didn't expect it to be blue, actually. So my favorites are actually the Day Glow and the Minimalist, like the concealer and the highlighter. The brow gel is fine, but does not stand out at all. Like, I have literally no comments, negative or positive, about it. It's just fine. So let's start with that. It is actually the most beautiful packaging, I think. Also, it's the wrong end. Like, you think that the product is going to be in this end, but it's in the larger end. So just going to brush my brows a little bit up. I noticed that it has okay staying power. Like, it's not like it completely falls, but I just haven't noticed anything special about this brow gel. But I also have not worn it by itself because I always, you know, have product in my brow, so I don't really know what this looks like alone because that's not realistic to how I would apply makeup. So there's the brow gel, you know, it's fine. Let's move on to the Perfecting Complexion Stick. This is supposed to be a concealer slash foundation. I used it as a foundation one day, but I mostly just wear this as concealer. And interestingly, so I only have one other concealer, and I used to love that concealer, and now compared to this, I realize that I don't like it anymore. But I think I also have been liking it less just because, you know, my preferences change. I find that one a lot drier compared to this one, and it's nice to have something else just so that I can have that comparison, if that makes sense. Like, when you only have one product, if you only have one blush or you only have one mascara, you don't know how they compare to other products. You don't really have a metric for that. So now that I have another concealer, I can see, okay, that other concealer I don't really like very much. And I did actually select the right color for this somehow. I really did not do my research. I probably could have done more research to see which is the right product. I'm really bad at doing that. It seemed like the right color and it was called Dune, so I'm like, okay, this is the one for me. And it actually matches perfectly. So I'm just gonna let this sit for a minute or two and then I will come back. We are back. I blended out the concealer. I will say I usually do concealer, like, you know, foundation and concealer before I do blush and bronzer. And that would have been a good call today because it sort of like covered up the blush. So I had to go back in with a little bit of blush. But I, you know, only put blush on first because I wanted my face to look semi-normal when I did this video. So I only had to put on the 3 finishing products, which I received from Merit. Anyways, this is how it looks. Ugh, it's just so much more like creamy and moisturizing. Like, I don't want to say moisturizing, but just compared to my other concealer, it's not drying at all, and it feels nice. It feels really good. I do have to set it with powder, but you know, if you're not oily, I don't think you would have to do that. Let's move on to the last one. This is the Day Glow Highlighting Balm. This is the one that I didn't technically need. I do have a couple of highlights, whereas brow gel, I'm on my last one. Concealer, I'm on my last one. This one I didn't really need, but it looked so beautiful, and I don't have anything quite like it. I have 2 powder highlights and 1 kind of liquid highlight, so I don't have anything in this category. I figured it could be handy, and I am really glad that I decided to get it because it is beautiful and unlike my other products. You know, I should probably do a little swatcheroo first. There it is. And I just feel like this blends in very well with the concealer. Like, they work very nicely together. And I'm actually also going to apply this as the inner corner highlight, just a little bit. I haven't done this before, but I feel like it would be a nice touch. Usually I would go for something with a bit more oomph in the inner corner. And highlight the brow bone. Yeah, so it doesn't have a ton of oomph, but it's nice if you're going for kind of more of a natural look, which I think is kind of the whole idea of Merit. Did I show you a close-up of this? So that is it. Those are the 3 products that I received from Merit. Let's do a little close-up so you can see how they look. Honestly, I'm tempted to not use powder because this looks so nice and kind of dewy right now, but I know that I will get pretty oily, so I should apply powder. But yeah, that's it. I hope you like the look and my thoughts on it. Okay, that is it for the makeup portion of this video. I know this has been very long, so I'm just gonna have a quick wrap up of a book I've been reading lately that is perfect for the spooky season. It is called The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. I will have a picture here. This author had a book out, I think 2 or 3 years ago, called The Silent Patient, which was huge. Like, that book was so popular and I thought it was great. Okay, interestingly, this book, The Maidens, I actually enjoyed more than The Silent Patient, but I thought The Silent Patient had a much stronger ending. The ending of that kind of blew my mind, whereas The Maidens, I was extremely engaged all throughout. I was really loving it, and then the ending was a letdown for me, and I actually kind of predicted what would happen. But if you're looking for like a spooky kind of seasonal book, it felt very fall. It takes place at Cambridge, and I just love like the vibe, the way you feel. It's so like cozy and kind of like old, and I don't know, I love the way it felt. This is the kind of book that like I save for reading before bed, so I would definitely recommend it. And it's basically about a murder happens, and then a woman who's a psychologist, she goes back to Cambridge where it happened because that is where she was a student, and her niece is a good friend of the woman who was killed, and so she kind of tries to solve it. So yeah, would highly recommend. Also, if you want to follow me on Goodreads, I feel like that is a more interesting place to follow me than like Instagram, to be honest. So I will link my profile down below. But that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And again, I will have the Merit products linked below if you are interested in trying them. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Let me know what makeup products you know that you don't like. I'd be really interested to hear conflicting views because I feel like a lot of people love cream blush. So apologies if you do, it's just not for me. That's gonna be it. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.